I recently finished reading an ebook arc of the Book of Fallen Leaves by AS Tamaki, which is coming out in mid-March here of 2026. And guys, you have to check this one out. Huge thank you to the author, Orbit Books, and of course NetGalley for allowing me to read this one. So the Book of Fallen Leaves is a fantasy retelling of an over 900-year-old samurai story, and it's often described as Game of Thrones meets Shogun, and I think it is so much more than that basic description provides. So in this world inspired by feudal Japan, we have the backdrop of three different family clans who came together years ago to take down the emperor, but then subsequently fought amongst themselves for power, and we are years removed from that and seeing the fallout of it. We have a retired emperor, we have basically a puppet emperor, and we have multiple clans who are still vying for power, and it provides very much this interesting dynamic of political intrigue. We get great epic battle scenes, and we get this really interesting fantasy backdrop where gods and demon spirits interfere with the doings of man, whether directly or through humans, in a very kind of mysterious magic system at this point. Part 1 and Part 2 very much give us a lot of great setup. We get a lot of political intrigue. We get this sort of back alley dealings and backroom dealings within the capital and without the capital. I read parts 3, most of Part 3 and Part 4 in one sitting straight through because I could not put this book down. The climactic fight scene is absolutely cinematic in description. Tamaki's writing is both intentional but also poetic at times, and even in the chaos of battle, we get these beautiful poetic descriptions of what's going on, the sacrifices people are making, and it charges us forward to set up the next part of this story so well. We are left with an incredibly satisfying ending, but also just enough teasers, just enough hanging out there to make you just absolutely chomp at the bit, want to get into the next one. And I know I personally cannot wait to see where this story goes next. I think if you are a fan of intentional world building, if you're a fan of epic fantasy, if you love a mix of political intrigue with epic kind of cinematic kind of battle scenes, if you love that tension between people vying for power, you are absolutely going to love this book, and you absolutely need to go check it out. So jump on this one. Make sure you go and pre-order it, whether going to your local bookstore or heading to my affiliate bookshop.org store and getting this thing pre-ordered. Trust me, you will love it.